Previously on the Real Movie Critics. And then he fucking goes the fuck off and pretty much says something that I've always believed is that, kids are great until sucked out, dried up bitches like you get a hold of them and suck the fun out of them. If you so much as scowl at my niece or any other kid in the school and I find out, I'm going to come looking for you. And he stands up, flicks a quarter at her. Here's a quarter. Go downtown and have a rat knock that thing off your face. And she's like, oh. And he winks at her. Good idiot, man. Good idiot. And you see the kid outside laughing the entire time.
Yeah, the whole time when he's making a comment about dried out skags like you see him just like, oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Real Movie Critics, real reviews by real fans. Again, you will notice we are a man short. Unless he's pulling a John Cena, and although I don't think he's a Triple H guy, not a John Cena guy like I am.
Well, I guess we're not playing a game tonight.
No, we're not. I like that. But it'll be just me and the Psycho Nerd yet again. As we close out, February is John Hughes' birthday month, just like myself and, of course, Lord Scuba Cabra. We're going to close out this particular month, I should say. We're going to close it out with the 80s classic, The Breakfast Club. Which premiered. Yes, there's the DVD box. And I do want to apologize to Molly Ringwald on the thumbnail. That was AI generated. It kind of cut part of her head off, but I think that's what happens when you eat sushi, is you get cut off on the thumbnail. Those that know. But this movie debuted and premiered in theaters on February 15th. Wow. 10 days from, we're recording on a Thursday. February 15th, 1985. I need to go back to the year 1985.
Dude, the day after Valentine's Day? How funny.
I know, and that's some shit. This is a whole other topic, but 85 had some really good movies came out that year.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress on that. And of course, written and directed by John Hughes. And we said this the last episode with Uncle Buck. John Hughes just had his finger on the pulse of pop culture in the 80s, into the 90s as well for a good part of it. But this movie, starring some of the Brat Pack, not the Rat Pack for you swingers, baby. This is the Brat Pack. It's a whole different group. Starring Molly Ringwald as Claire. Apparently, it's a family name.
Claire.
Oh, it's a fat girl's name.
Thank you. You're welcome. I'm not fat.
Judd Nelson is John Bender. I'm convinced in this movie that he's not acting, and I'll have a reason why here in a minute once we get through the cast. One of my favorite actors growing up, Anthony Michael Hall, is Brian Johnson. He's the nerdy kid. He's the nerdy kid. And this is back when being a nerd was not cool. I'm looking at you. It wasn't cool. People used to get beat up for being nerdy back in the day.
Yeah, but you know what's funny about him is that after he really hit his growth spurt, when we saw him and Edward Scissorhands, both me and Mom for the first time, it was like, what the hell, dude?
He found the weight room. That's what it was.
He's got muscles. What the?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because if you see him because he filmed Breakfast Club, and then he did Weird Science about a year after.
Mm-hmm.
That 1 year he sprouted and his hair got super long. So,
well, apparently he grew during filming too, because they said Judd Nelson said that he was just a tad shorter than him when they started filming, but then he was just a tad taller.
Yeah, it happened.
By the time they were done, it's like, wow.
We have Emilio Emilio.
The Mighty Duck, man. I swear to God.
You got him as Andrew Clark. Ali Sheedy as Allison. You got Paul Gleason, who, I'm sorry, does he always got to play an asshole in his movies? Every movie he's ever been in, he's a dick.
That one in Trading Places comes to mind.
Trading Places, of course. The Breakfast Club. Van Wilder comes to mind as well. He's just an ass. But you find out in that movie, he's just trying to push Wilder in the right direction.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why you're giving me crap? I thought I flew around with your daughter sophomore year. Wait, what? Huh? And then we got John Capilos. I'm not even
the janitor, Carl the janitor.
It's Carl the janitor. Before we go to the fun facts, I don't know if you noticed this, but there was little clues when Brian is giving the monologue introduction to the movie. You see the locker that Brian blows up.
Yep, I was going to bring that up.
You see that locker, and it's just fucking destroyed. The one takeaway that I took from that is you see a picture of Carl.
That's true.
Man of the year, who went to high school at Sherman High School many years prior, and now he's a janitor at the same high school.
Shermer, sir.
Sherman High School, Sherman, Illinois, 60062.
Sherman.
I don't know why I have that memorized. And this is a little note for Jay and Silent Bob. There is no Sherman, Illinois.
Movies are fucking bullshit.
Fucking bullshit. Fun facts about this movie before we jump into the meat and potatoes.
Dude,
actually,
there are so fucking many too.
I want to talk about the synopsis real quick. Actually, it's a coming-of-age comedy drama about 5 distinct high school stereotypes: a brain, an athlete, a basket case, a princess, and a criminal, forced together for a Saturday detention. Under a strict principle, they break down social barriers, reveal their insecurities, and realize they are more alike than they really thought.
That is the best description of that movie I've ever heard.
Yep, that's spot on. Fun facts. This one caught my attention pretty quickly. John Hughes wrote the entire screenplay in 2 days.
I believe it.
Days.
I believe it.
The title of this movie comes from a real nickname from some Saturday detention students in the Chicago suburbs, which I think is kind of cool.
That fact was actually on the Blu-ray. I was like, oh, that's a cool fact.
And it's funny because, you know, the high school here, don't remember them having a Saturday detention. It was just after school. It was never a full fucking day.
No,
stuck in a classroom or the library
as a kid,
or whatever.
Yeah, a kid, I never understood that. Like, who has Saturday detention? What?
And why was it just 5 fucking people? I mean,
they were the only ones who fucked up.
Or fucked up big enough to, you know.
Get that kind of punishment.
The group therapy session was all improvised, which allowed for genuine reactions from the teens. All improvised. So they made everything up on the fly.
That is nice.
Judd Nelson ad-libbed the iconic fist pump at the end of the movie. Was not in the script. He was just supposed to walk off and they were going to freeze frame, but he just kind of was like, man, fuck the system. Which would be brought up again in the movie Pitch Perfect, which is a whole nother review. Anthony Michael Hall's real mom and sister are the ones dropping him off at detention.
Yep.
And side note to that, this is on the bottom, but I'm going to throw it up here. Joe as Brian's father at the end of the movie.
Very true.
And did you notice the light's parents' car?
EMC2.
E equals MC squared. He is the fucking brain, and they put it on the license plate for those of us that didn't catch that.
Yep.
Let's see. Ringwald and Hall were the only teens in the cast. The rest of them were in their 20s.
Typical.
The dandruff that Allison shakes out of her hair was not dandruff. It was Parmesan cheese.
Nice. I wrote that one down too.
Parmesan cheese. Nicolas Cage actually auditioned for the part of Bender and also suggested John Cusack for the role as well.
Right. He was up for the role.
See, I can't see Cusack always played the lovable teen that got his heart broken. That was like his MO in the 80s. I could not see him playing Bender.
I really can't. No, I think Judd Nelson was the perfect person to do it.
speaking of Judd Nelson remained in character even when the cameras were off, which almost got him fired. Sounds familiar. A lot of method actors do that. Paul Gleason defended him, no, and he kept his job. And again, I feel like Judd Nelson wasn't acting. I think he's just a dick.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's reported that he was constantly fucking with Molly Ringwald, even between takes.
Yeah,
like a lot.
One rental breach coming up.
Did
James
you come
on the
to it?
Straight Back for those that don't know that line.
Did you come to it or did you go to it? That's a deleted scene.
I already brought up that John Hughes had a cameo. Did you have any other facts that I may have missed?
Actually, do you know where the quote, the David Bowie quote, you know who suggested it?
No, I don't actually. I forgot to write that down, but yeah.
That's cool. Actually, Ali Sheedy showed it to John Hughes and he enjoyed it so much, he decided to put it in the opening.
And it's very, very spot on.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Especially nowadays. It's
hell yeah, it really is. I gotta, let me see. Oh, you know what? I think you pretty much nailed just about all of them. All the ones that I had in mind. Like I said, there was a trivia track on the Blu-ray. So many facts that I don't think I couldn't do it justice writing them all down. It would take forever to do it, but there's just so many different things going on.
But we opened the movie. There is one more fact that we talked about before we went on air.
What's that?
Billy Idol was approached to do the theme song to this movie. He turned it down. Simple Minds did it, and it became iconic. So iconic that now they hate to perform the fucking song.
What?
And yes, they hate it. It's like Berlin that did Take My Breath Away from Top Gun. It was like their biggest hit.
Yeah.
I believe it also got them an Oscar.
That's true. Yeah.
Fucking hate to perform it because it's like, ugh. Don't y'all ever get tired of Taking My Breath Away? No, we don't. We love it. We love Top Gun.
Actually, you know what song of theirs I really enjoy? Heartstrings from Spaceballs.
Oh, fuck.
When Vespa is flying away from the planet, when she flies away in the ship at the beginning before getting married, that's a song that's playing on the headphones.
Oh, nice.
That's a great fucking song too.
But we open before I get to that, Billy Idol did cover that song. It's on his greatest hits album. It's not the same. And I'm like, I compare that. I've listened to the two side by side, and I'm like, Simple Minds did a way better. It was more synth pop, more new age versus rock, and it needed to have that pop sound to kind of get all of these kids together. It kind of makes sense. Rock, it wouldn't have been the same, but the new age, it's all these kids would have enjoyed that. If it was rock, Bender would be the other one going, yeah, man, I got my Walkman that I stole from Brian. I'm fucking rocking out. Yeah.
Nah, it's iconic the way it is.
Yeah, I agree. We open, Brian's giving his monologue. Apparently Vernon's a dick and making them write a paper. So they all show up like 10 minutes early. You got Brian's mom telling him, take the time to study. And he's like, I can't. I got to sit there. Well, you better figure it out. And then the sister, yeah.
He just looks at her like,
the look of disdain he had for his sister. I know that look because I gave it to you and Ben quite a few times. Like, motherfucker, if mom wasn't here, I'd fucking kill you. Bye. You see Andrew getting reamed out by his dad for what he did. Time. It's like, no one's going to give a scholarship to this one case, and he's a wrestler. Claire is bitching because she has to go to detention because she cut class.
Shopping. Yeah, exactly.
It's like shopping. And you find out later on there's more to the story. Bender walks up, almost gets hit by Allison's parents.
And he doesn't flinch at all. He does not flinch.
Not, oh my God. He's just like, yeah, I'm John Bender. I'm fucking cool.
Yeah.
From the word go, they're in the room. Bender's already trying to establish himself as the alpha male because he's been there more than anybody else. I think the statue had less time in that building than he did at that point.
Shit. You know what? One more fun fact. Did you know that was not a real library?
Yeah, it was in the gymnasium of abandoned school in Chicago. I forget where.
Yeah.
A DJ of a radio show I used to listen to back in the day. He is from that area, and he was very adamant of knowing about that high school because it was a rival high school until they closed it down.
And a public high school actually donated, I think it was over 10,000 books for the movie.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
And they filmed quite a few movies in that particular gymnasium too. Like they did Ferris Bueller. A lot of the Hughes movies were done in the gymnasium, or they used the same school for freaking Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, they did. They did.
It's just a different angle, but yeah, you can totally tell. Vernon walks in, tells him, "Well, I'm glad you're here. You've got 8 hours and 56 minutes." And I'm thinking, fuck, 9 hours? I got to
shit
this shithole with these assholes? Fuck that. Tells them they have to write an essay of no less than 1,000 words about what was it? Why you're here, or some shit like that.
Who you think you are?
Who you think you are? And then he looks at Bender, and I don't mean a single word repeated 1,000 times. I'm like,
he's like, "Is this a test?"
Are we being tested, sir? Because I did not study. I didn't bring any books. Can I go to my locker, please?
Yeah, really.
And then everything is cool for a minute. And then Bender, being Bender, and again, I'm convinced he wasn't acting, but whatever. I've never met Judd Nelson. I'm pretty sure he's a pretty cool dude. However, it was the 80s. There was a lot of bullies in the 80s, by the way. You had Karate Kid, what's his name? Johnny?
William DeZarga, or whatever his last name is pronounced.
He was like the epitome of fucking bully. He played a bully in the Karate Kid, Back to School, and then just
that's right.
He played three different bullies in 3 different movies. He was a dick.
Yeah, he's good at it apparently, but I hear he's a real cool guy in real life. I love that movie.
Everybody, she's got tits. It's okay. Bender gets the wild idea to fucking take the screw out of the door because it's left open because Vernon's office is right across the way. And that's pretty much where we get we can do what the fuck we want because he's not going to walk in here every fucking 10 minutes. It's not going to happen.
Actually, it's pretty fucking smart on his part.
It was smart, but it was one of the funniest lines when he's like, "Give me the screw, Bender." And I don't have it. The world's an imperfect place. Screws falling all the time. And then Molly Ring goes, "Sir, why would anybody want to sell a screw?" You're like,
watch it, young lady.
Wow.
Oops. But unfortunately for Bender, that leads to him getting a shit ton of future detention after that discussion. He goes out of his way to try to get Andrew to put this fucking bookshelf in between, to hold the door open. That's very clever, sir. But what if there's a fire? I think violating fire codes and endangering the lives of children would be unwise at this juncture in your career, sir.
What are you doing? Get this out of here, for Christ's sake.
Then he goes off on Andrew for having a dumb idea, even though it was his idea, showing how much of an asshole he can really be. And that's what starts the whole thing about Bender just getting 2 straight months worth of fucking detention. Which, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, it was 7 until Brian was like, "Oh, it's actually 7." Okay, now it's 8. Shut
you stay out of this. Excuse me, sir. It's 7. Shut up, Pee-wee.
And then for 2 months, I got you. Who would have thought that he would have been a Longhorns fan? I never would have guessed that.
Me neither.
But Bender's pissed. Freaking, Vernon walks out. The door closes. Fuck you! He's pissed, and then you see Vernon really isn't a horrible person. At least we think, anyway. He's just like, oh man. Oh,
I go with the idea that he is just out of touch with the kids of today. Then that goes into a conversation that happens later.
Yeah, because they talk about he's been doing it for 24 years, and he's out of touch. He's been doing it since the 60s at this point. Because if this took place in 84. He became a teacher in 60.
There's a big difference between the 60s and the 80s, man.
The kids in the 60s and the kids in the 70s are different. And of course, the kids from the 70s and the 80s are way different. So he's almost like he's stuck in the past.
Pretty much.
But, and of course, you see Bender sitting there and like, fuck. Like, he's pissed because he let him get the best of him.
Totally.
He definitely let him rub him the wrong way. Then we start to see the kids start to interact. We start to see Allison starts to actually be somewhat social, but not 100%.
Slowly but surely.
And then we get Andrew and Bender having their moment where Andrew is pissed. He keeps fucking with Claire, and he's like, leave her the fuck alone. Who the fuck are you? Like, he's defending her. He's being a good dude, but secretly he probably wants to smash, but that's okay.
Probably.
Yeah, it's Molly Ringwald. Who the fuck didn't want to smash Molly Ringwald back in the 80s?
I think everybody wanted to, man.
They have a moment where Bender pushes his arm off, and Andrew, being the wrestler, puts him in a hold, puts him on the ground, and then Bender's like, I don't want to get into this with you, and Andrew lets him go. Why not? Because I fucking kill you.
Because I kill you.
And then Andrew's like, well, sick of shit, and then Bender pulls out a knife. And then he jams it out of the chair, and real quick, Allison's like, that's mine.
She the first indication of her being a klepto and just steals the
thing. She fucking takes the knife, and she's like, and Andrew's trying to establish, like, don't fuck with her, don't talk with her, don't even look at her. And he's like, I'm trying to help her. Like, how? You're being a dick. You're just being a fucking chauvinist dick.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, maybe he's just trying to help her come out of her shell or something, but who knows?
And then we get that little montage of them bored. You see Andrew fucking with his fucking strings on his hoodie and shit, and
Allie
drawing and putting dandruff on it, and Brian's passing out. Everybody passes the fuck out.
I love how Brian is grabbing his dick because he's got to take a piss, but he doesn't do anything about it.
Yeah, he's doing the PB dance. And then Vernon's there, and he's just like, wake up. Who has to go to the laboratory? And then all these hands go up, right?
And funny story. I was watching that in the theater, I think last year with Kevin. And when they did that scene, it's like, who has to go to the laboratory? I went ahead and raised my hand just to be funny. And I think there was one guy in the back that chuckled. I was like, well, at least I got somebody.
Yeah. Little interactive shit at the Alamo Draft House. Yeah. I get that.
It's not a movie party, but you know what? I didn't talk, so you can't do anything about it.
Fair enough. And they get lunch. They get to have lunch. They send Andrew, and he's trying to get Claire to go because he's like, send her with me. I'm gonna fucking tag it in the fucking the teacher's lounge. Sends Allison with him, and they have their first interaction together.
No shit. What's your poison? What do you drink? All right, vodka. Forget I asked.
Really?
Vodka. When do you drink vodka?
Whenever.
A lot?
Tons. And then she asks him why he's there, and he gives this long, drawn-out bullshit story. She's like, that's really interesting. Now tell me why you're really here. And he's like, forget it.
I love how she sees right through the bullshit.
She sees right through the bullshit. And we go back in for lunch. Fucking Claire is pulling out sushi, and Bender's like, the fuck is that? It's seaweed. It's sushi, raw fish, rice, and seaweed. And he's like, you won't take a
accept the guy's tongue in your mouth?
Eat that shit? Like, can I eat?
Can I eat?
You can try. I don't care.
I love that scene because when she looks at him and says sushi, she has a look on her face like she expects him to know this. Like sushi wasn't that prominent back in those days.
No, I didn't even know what sushi was back then. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, this movie introduced me to sushi.
Claire is very got a nose in the air, everybody.
Her parents are rich.
And then,
but I also my bad.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, even after she says what it is, and both Andrew and Brian look at Bender like they're just waiting for him to say something. Like,
yeah, they're like, what are you gonna say, bro? I got nothing. And then Andrew pulls out this big ass fucking HEB paper bag. For those that are in Texas, HEB is a grocery store.
Actually, it wasn't HEB. It was a local food store.
I was just saying, it was a back before they went to plastic. They used to put them in brown paper bags. Oh, yeah, and he pulls out 3 sandwiches, and they weren't just lit. They were
stacked.
Big old thick ass sandwiches, an entire bag of potato chips, an entire bag of chocolate chip cookies, and then a banana and an apple.
Like, good Lord. I know you're a wrestler, but god damn.
He opens up the first sandwich to take a bite, and he looks, and then that piece of lettuce falls at just the right time. And he's like, what?
What is your problem?
Then Bender goes over and sits with, before we get to that, Allison.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh God. Allison opens up her sandwich and it's got like that pimento loaf shit in there. Or that I don't know what.
Yeah,
She grabs it and she throws it and it lands on the statue's face and falls off. She's got straws of sugar.
Pixie sticks, I think it was.
And I'm thinking, no, they were clear, they were white, so they were just, just straight up sugar. And she puts them on there. My only thought I'm thinking is, isn't the taste of the sandwich still going to be on there? Because that's fucking gross.
Probably.
And then she grabs 2 handfuls of Captain Crunch.
Oh,
I love Captain Crunch. I really do. Even though it cuts the fucking roof of my mouth every chance. No, you don't like Captain Crunch?
No, man. It's oily as all fucking hell. Like, no, thank you.
She then takes the 2 pieces of bread, puts them together, smushes it down, much like when we were kids, we'd make a sandwich. I would put potato chips on my sandwich, like my fried bologna and cheese sandwich. I'd put some chips on there, crush it down, and go crazy. This broad puts them together, smashes them together, picks it up like it's a fucking Whopper, like too big for her hands, but she's got it, and she just
big old bite.
Go, and everybody's like,
I think Brian's reaction is the funniest. He's just there like,
yeah.
And then all of them, after she takes a bite, they all just turn their heads slowly, like, okay, let's
slow turn, like, nah. And then we get the moment with Bender and Brian where Bender,
what are we having?
What are we having? There's the regular normal lunch, pulls out the thermos, milk, soup. And then Brian, he's going in the bag, and Brian goes to try to stop him, and then
he just slaps his hand like, nope.
That's apple juice.
I can read. PB&J with the crust cut off. Well, Brian, this is a very nutritious lunch. All the food groups are represented. Did your mom marry Mr. Rogers?
No, Mr. Johnson, which is the funniest line of the movie, by the way. No, Mr. Johnson. And then Bender goes as far as picking on Brian and pretty much saying that you were a parent's wet dream. You're the perfect child, which we find out he's not later on.
No, and he does an imitation of his home life.
But. Yeah, and you can tell Brian's not happy. He's a little pissed. And Andrew's a little upset too. It's like, well, what the fuck?
He's smiling at first, but then he stops smiling because I think he starts thinking about it.
Yeah. And then Andrew's like, okay, what about your life? Oh, my life? Oh, that's easy.
That's easy.
Imitates it. Apparently he's an abused child, which Andrew is like, I call bullshit. I think it's all part of your image, which I could get behind that. And then he lifts up his shirt, and there's a giant cigar burn mark where he got burned for spilling paint in the garage. And it's like, holy fuck, no wonder John is fucked up. He's an abused child by his dad. It's not well, you can kind of blame the mom too, because she's not standing up and helping him out. So
clearly, but I mean, that for just spilling paint, I mean, God, everybody makes a mistake every once in a while, for crying out loud.
That sets Bender off.
Yes, it does.
Pisses him off. He does the smartest thing he probably could have done. He walked away from the situation because he could have easily just pounded on everybody in the room. And then Claire's like, shouldn't have said that. And
How did I know?
Yeah, Andrew's like, I didn't know. But that's everything both ways, though. It's like, if you didn't know, why the fuck did you say anything?
Exactly.
Also, you really shouldn't have egged him on the way you did, which is fine.
It just goes to prove these kids don't know a damn thing about each other, and that's what this movie is all about.
And they end up deciding to go for a walk in the fucking hallways. They get lost. And finally Bender's like, you know what? I will fall in the grenade. And he runs off so they can get back to the fucking library. And fucking Vernon walks in, catches Bender playing basketball. I gotta give Judd Nelson some props. He had a decent, he dunked them. I don't know what the regulation size on that rim was. It looked a little low, but that's okay. But he was dribbling the ball like he knew what he was doing. He spun on the singer, and he's like, I'm going to try out for a scholarship. And then it's like, give me the ball. And then he's a throw to him. Vernon's like, what the fuck? Then he flinches like 2 or 3 times. And then Bender puts it on the ground and rolls it. And Vernon just kicks the crap
out of it. He jumps. Bender jumps so hard he jumps out of the
Out of his
random
shoe.
white sneaker that just happened to be there.
Yeah,
That was Judd Nelson's
yeah.
idea, by the way. Oh, by the way, that scene. The facts said that every single time they did a take in that gymnasium,
Mhm.
Judd Nelson changed it up every single time just to keep Paul Gleason on his toes. So I'm like, where are the other takes? We need these. Okay,
Yeah,
I
I
want to
agree.
see them for real.
Then it takes Bender back to the room or back to the library. Before Bender takes off, he goes to his locker and gets a pretty substantial amount of weed out of the fucking bag that was in that locker, stuffs it down Brian's pants, and then he makes Bender get his shit so he can put him in a closet for the rest of the fucking. Can you do that? Is that legal?
I suppose.
And then Vernon's like, "What would you, I know this is funny to you? What if you're home? What if your family?" And then he's like, "No, let's speak about something he really gives a shit about. What if your dope was on fire?" And then Bender, it's
Impossible,
impossible,
sir.
sir. It's in Brian's Johnson's underwear. And Brian's like,
yeah, I
then,
know. It's like, dude, poker face, man. Poker
but
face. What's wrong with you?
is Vernon's not buying it. He thinks he's full of shit. Again, full of shit, kicks him out, takes him into the locker or to the closet. And then that's when we realize that Vernon's a dick.
Again, going back to the whole out of touch thing, he doesn't know a goddamn thing about Bender, not one fucking thing.
Nope. And he physically threatens him, like, you know,
Yes,
when
he does.
he threatens to beat the shit out of him, allows Bender to hit him, and you see the attitude change in Bender, like a scared child in a closet watching him like, I'm not falling for. Maybe this has happened before to him where his dad let him hit him and he did, and he got the shit kicked out of him. So you start to understand, okay, Bender is just a product of the environment that he's in.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Know? And that's the basis of the Trading Places movie too. I know this is a different movie, but you know, you put somebody who came from nothing and put them somewhere, they'll be successful. But if you take the same person and put them in a shitty environment, they will revert to crime, alcohol, drugs.
Potentially, yeah.
It seems to be a valid point because I've seen it myself quite a few times with people that I've known. Fucking Bender decides to escape, so he does. And one of the funniest scenes is he's under the desk of Claire, Claire and Andrew's desk, and Vernon's like, "What the fuck was that noise?" Like, "You just travel the ruckus." And then Bender hits his head on the fucking desk, and they're fucking playing with him. And then you hear, "There's no noise," and then Bender looks,
and he sees the cotton white panties.
They were pink. Actually, they were not
were they
white.
pink?
They were pink.
Okay, I thought they were wet.
High definition. They were pink.
Okay.
Looks right there, and he starts to put his head in between her. We don't really get to see it a whole lot. And then she's like, and just squeezes her legs onto his head. And then everybody starts coughing. Is that the noise you heard? No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
You know,
I may not have,
and then
I may not have caught you this time, but you can bet I will.
And then Alice starts giggling, like, "You can book on that, Missy." and you, will not be made a fool of. Turns around and he's got a fucking ass gasket on his ass. They start laughing. Bender is trying to get up, but Claire keeps kicking him and she slaps him on the back. Boom, boom, boom. "You're a dick." Like,
it was an accident.
I mean, come on.
What would you expect? I mean, come on.
I expect nothing less. And so he goes up to Johnson. "Hey, Ahab, where's my doobage?" Reaches down, hands it to him. They light up, and then we start to see the walls of everybody start to break down.
Mm-hmm. This is when things start to change.
This is when all the guards are let down. The walls are broken, and we see that Brian's actually pretty fun when he's high. The chicks cannot hold a smoke. That's what it is. And
apparently that's a reference to a Richard Pryor thing he said on a stand-up years ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was another factoid I didn't know. Speaking of which, in the library, did you ever notice the sign that says "No food or drink allowed in the library," which is Vernon completely contradicts that whole idea with having them have lunch there.
Well, he's the vice principal. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's a swell guy. He's loved and respected. Bender's a lying sack of shit. Everybody knows it. And then we start to figure out that Allison is a bit of a klepto. She dumps her bag out to show that she's not happy with her home life. She's trying to get attention by saying she's going to run away. Andrew sees that Brian's ID, like, this is the worst fake ID I've ever seen. Now, if you wanted the fake ID, what is a fake ID? What is the reason you would want a fake ID? At that
try to go into a place that I'm not allowed to be, like a bar or something,
go to a
like
bar,
on
get
Saved by the
alcohol.
Bell. So yeah.
And he's like, "Why do you need a fake ID?" And Brian, being the nerd that he is, so I can vote. Or I'm like, wow, this dude's on a whole nother fucking level. Jesus Christ.
I guess he just really wanted to vote. Huh? What can you say?
And of course, Allison snaps and gets upset because Andrew calls her on her bullshit. Like, either you're trying to run away or you want people to think you're running away. She gets upset, runs away, and then they have a, I'm sorry. And then we get the circle, which is hilarious because that 70s show had a circle, but it's a different kind of This is the trust circle.
But it's definitely necessary. And even before that, when Allison is sitting there while the guys are talking, and you can tell from the look on her face that you can almost sense that she's got just a level of trust. Like, she really wants to open up to these guys, but she's kind of still inhibited, very uncomfortable, still kind of, fighting with herself and whatnot. But it's important because when she has that brief conversation with Andrew about her life, her parents and whatnot, I get the general consensus that she's never really had a chance to tell that to anybody. Like, nobody has ever heard her say that, but no one's ever asked before. And that's fucking sad if you think about it, because she's seeing a fucking shrink.
Yeah. We figure out why everybody's there. Mm-hmm. We figured out Claire early. She's there because she skipped school to go shopping.
And we know about Bender because he pulled a fire alarm.
Bender pulled a fire alarm. Brian had a flare gun go off in his locker. He should have had a gun there in the first place. He was trying to commit suicide. It failed. The lamp he was trying to make in shop class was destroyed.
Can you kill yourself with a flare gun? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Like, you could light yourself on fire? Is that what would happen?
That, or if you put it in your mouth and swallowed it, I'm pretty sure it'd fuck you up pretty good too.
Oof, I don't even want to think about that.
I think the most fucked up offense is the one that Andrew Clark does. And that is, he finds the kid in the gym, hairy kid, tapes his butt cheeks together, and he tells
after he wails on him too.
After he wails on him, he tapes his ass cheeks together, and he lets us know that when they're removing the tape, that a lot of the hair and some of the skin came with it. And we find out that he did this because of his father, because his father is a dick. He's always pushing him. No losers in the family. I take this as a father who is living vicariously through his son, who didn't live up to his expectations, so he's forcing his son to do it. Andrew finally breaks down and says what he has to say, and then Bender, always with quick with a joke and a light your smoke, says, "Man, I think your dad and my dad should get together and go bowling."
Yeah, and Andrew does crack a smile, but I'll tell you,
And then Brian asks the question of questions. When this is over with,
are we still friends?
What is our status? Are we still? I could consider y'all friends. So, what's the status here? And
Claire's the first one to jump in with that.
Yeah, well, Claire's a bitch. Let's be real. Claire's a fucking bitch. She's like,
you know what? At least on one side of the coin, at least she's honest. But it's like, you don't have to be that way.
No, you don't. And she's like, "Do you want the truth?" And Brian's like, "Yeah, I want the fucking truth." I wouldn't ask the question. And she's like, "Probably not." And then Allison brings up another important question with all of us, or just Brian,
or John,
Sorry, no, Brian, because she's talking about
like with us or just John, as in Bender, because they've already had that.
Yeah, you're right. And then she's like, "With all of you," and then that's when Bender fucking snaps. "You are a fucking bitch." And she's like, "Why? You know what? Would you ever take Brian to the parking lot and get him high, or take somebody to one of your heavy metal vomit parties?" And then she's like, "What would you say if you and I are walking down the hall while your friends would laugh their asses off, and you would just tell them that we're doing it just so they wouldn't fuck with you?" And then Bender fucking snaps.
He goes off on her every which way possible because he calls her out on everything.
He's 100% right. At least I think he is. Like, you wouldn't condescend to meet any of my friends. So stick to the things you know. Your dad's BMW, your poor rich
drunk mother in the
mother in the
Caribbean,
Caribbean, and that's when
shopping, nail polish, all that shit.
Claire is just a ball of emotions. Oh my god, I can't believe this bullshit. Yeah.
You know what? I get the impression that nobody has probably ever put that girl in her place before,
No,
and I
it
feel like it was
shows.
necessary.
It shows.
Mhm.
And sadly, we have a whole generation of people just like that right now that don't know the word no. That we're not taught that life is not a bowl of cherries. You're gonna get some fucking worms in your apples every now and again, fucking live with it. Then Brian starts telling his story about how he took shop because he thought it'd be an easy grade, and then, well, why'd you think it was easy? And fucking Brian, because have you seen the fucking morons that take shop? And then Bender, I take shop. It's like, ooh.
And that's when he starts getting mad at Brian now, because it's like, dude, yeah, come on now.
And it's one of those things where Brian's unloading, and he finally breaks down and starts crying and tells him why he's there. They talk about the flare gun. Or he talks about a gun. And then they're like, well, what the fuck? Well, you shouldn't kill yourself. And Brian's like, well, I didn't do it, did I? No, I don't think so. And then, what kind of a gun? It was a flare gun. It went off in my locker. And Andrew starts, funny. And then Brian's like, it's not funny. And Andrew's like,
yeah, it is.
And then they all start to laugh. And then they all become, that is the defining moment right there. Where, okay,
and then Allison puts the cherry on top. Do you guys know what I did to get in here? Nothing. I had nothing better to do, which is really fucking hilarious, because
and that's her character.
That's her character. And by showing up, that means that not only was her situation a little bit helped because she got to talk to Andrew and kind of let her feelings out, but also she kind of helped Andrew a little bit kind of realize some of his faults that he was unwilling to see before, about, you always do what everyone ever tells you to do. That's a problem.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Imagine what would happen if she never showed up.
oh yeah.
It'd be totally different.
Bender goes back to the closet where he's at, and then Claire decides to give Allison a makeover. They have their little moment there, and then the music is so key, like Then we see Allison for the first time. Her hair is pulled back. You can actually see her fucking face, and Andrew is just like, "Holy fuck!" And before that, Claire's like telling Brian, "Hey, I think it's a waste if we all write a paper. Would you mind doing it?" And he's like, "Why? Like, well, you're the smartest one. We trust you." And he's like, "All right, I'll do it." Push over, but whatever, I get it.
Well, first he calls her out. He's like, "Yeah, you just don't want to write your paper."
Yeah, which is fair.
True, but
it's true. But we're all probably going to say the same shit. At least you can probably put in better words than we can.
Yeah.
And so when Allison comes out, Brian is writing. He looks up, looks down, and goes, like that slow, like, holy crap. And then she looks at him like, say something, even without saying it. She's like, and he's like,
he just like, wow.
Like starts smiling, like, nerd. Oh my God, she's so cute. And she's like, thank you. And then her and Andrew are like, having a what happened? Why? Claire did it. Like, she gets defensive real quick. We can see your face. Is that good or bad? Oh, that's good.
That's good. That's good. You know what? Let's give Ali Sheedy props. She is cute.
Yeah. I thought she was cute in Short Circuit, personally.
Yes, I was going to say that. Short Circuit. Go get the Thembo, Stephanie.
One thing we didn't talk about, and we skipped right over, was the scene with Carl, where Bender is kind of, I know we went all the way to the end and we had to go back to the middle.
That's all good. That's what this is all about.
Carl walks in, says hi to Brian. Hey, Brian, how you doing? And it makes sense that the janitor wouldn't know Brian. It makes sense because he's probably there after hours sometimes.
Your dad work here?
For the physics club that he's in, because, physics club is such a cool club to be in. It's really not. And your dad works here? Like, no. And then Bender's like, I have a question, Carl. How does one become a janitor? Because Andrew here is interested in pursuing a career in the custodial arts. And then Carl's like, really? And Andrew's like,
you think I'm just an accessible serf peon? Maybe so. After pulling a broom head after shitheads like you for the last so many years, I've learned a couple
12,
things.
I think.
12 years. I go through your letters, read through your letters, look through your lockers. That gets Bender's attention, too.
Like, what?
Like, wait a minute.
Eyes and ears of this institution, my friends. And then he looks up. By the way, that clock's 20 minutes fast. you hear Brian go, fuck.
And you see the look on Bender's face with a smile like,
Like,
motherfucker. That means he's been looking through my shit. He knows I
yeah.
have shit, and he's not saying a fucking word about it.
Yep.
That's like, okay, that's cool. That's pretty cool.
You know, and it goes back to, I knew plenty of people in high school that were successful in what they did in high school. They were very well known. They were great athletes, whatever. And then for some reason, they fucking peaked in high school.
Mm-hmm.
It's oh, what the fuck was his name? Matthew McConaughey's character in Dazed and Confused. It's the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
They peaked in high school and they're just kind of stuck doing what they do. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Not everybody's meant for greatness like that. But
it is what it is.
But you can tell he doesn't hate his job. He probably wishes he had a better spot. And the moment that him and Vernon have in the fucking the basement files, where he's like, the thing that scares me the most is that when I'm an old man, these kids are going to be taking care of me. And then Carl's like, I wouldn't count on it. And it's spot on true. You reap what you sow. Mm-hmm. I know there are teachers that in my high school that I loved and loved to be around them because they were just full of knowledge and they were full of love and everything. But there was a couple that were like, "How are you here?"
Yeah, I can think of a couple in high school.
I won't drop any names because I probably no names anyway.
Yeah, we won't do that.
Yeah, but we see the kids walking out. Before that, fucking Molly Ringwald, and this upsets me so much. Of course, the girl goes with the bad guy. That is just how it is. And she kisses him on the neck. And he's like, "What was that for?" And she's like, "So I knew you wouldn't do it." And then he's like, "You know how you said your parents like to use each other to get back at each other? Wouldn't I be stupendous in that situation?" Like, he's speaking some facts at this point.
Yeah, he's not wrong. It would definitely make things interesting.
But then again, not Bender, Claire has daddy issues. So it makes sense for her to go with the fucking troubled dude. She gives him a diamond ring to wear. She's never seeing that again. I'm sorry.
Earring. It was an earring.
Yeah, I'm saying it was a diamond ring. Diamond earring.
Oh, yeah. You said, okay. You said ring.
Diamond earring. She'll never see that again. I guarantee that. Whatchamacallit? They're all walking out, going back with their parents. And then Vernon's reading the letter that Brian wrote, which I believe was just about 1,000 words. You see us as you want to see us. But the thing we figured out is each one of us is a brain, an athlete, a basket case, a princess, and a criminal. Sincerely yours, The Breakfast Club. And then we get the hand in the air, which is true because, this movie, when the first time I saw it, I was maybe in my early teen or like pre-teens. Didn't make sense.
It took you that long to watch it? Really?
Huh?
It took you that long to watch it?
When I was like 10 or 11, maybe 12.
I must have seen this movie probably when I was like 6, 7 years old.
I don't remember. I know I was younger.
Yeah.
But a lot of it didn't make sense to me at the time. Then I watched it in high school for the first time in a couple of years, and I went, holy fuck, this makes perfect sense because everybody has the same problems. They just run with a different crowd. That's all. That's the difference is that the brains have, and again, things are different now. Being a nerd back in the 80s and 90s was not a cool thing. Wearing a Star Wars shirt, being a Star Wars fan, or even the Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, D&D. Oh my God, D&D guys got it the worst. Until you find out that football players were playing D&D, and you're like, why are you giving me shit for it when you're playing it too? Doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is. But definitely in high school, this movie spoke to me in a very big way. To the point where, we all have problems. We just all run with a different crowd. And for me in high school, I was the tallest dude there. Well, one of two. But I stuck out pretty bad. But anyway, the movie ends. Everybody goes about their way. We see like the credits roll. Bender's in the football field with his fist in the air, fight the power, whatever the hell he's trying to say. The budget for this movie was $1 million, which is low. But then again, most of these actors, these are all teenage actors, so they're not going to get paid a whole lot.
Well, not
And
to
again,
mention it's a small ass cast. There's only so many actors in the film, so
not only
that's
that,
also
but
contributing to it.
$1 million in 85 money is a lot of money now. I'm not going to do the math.
No.
I'm not going to do the math. Opening weekend, it did 5.1 million. And then its box office earnings domestically it was 46 million. Worldwide, it was 52.
Good
So
grief.
it did really well for what the budget was. It 52 times the budget, so it's obviously a success. But we don't care about all that. We're going to get on to the Rotten Tomato scores. And once again, I'm putting you on the spot. Tomato meter, what was the critics' take on this?
78.
Flip it, 87.
Oh, okay.
Now,
not too shabby.
the popcorn meter. The
91.
92, not far.
Oh, shit. God
almost pulled it off.
That close. Woo.
But again, we don't care about the Rotten Tomato scores. We care about what we like. And with that being said, we always try to find some, anybody can do 1 out of 5 stars. Whatever. That's fucking boring. But I have come up with the perfect rating system for this movie. Are you ready?
How about 5 pimento loaves?
No, but you're on the right track, though.
Okay.
1 out of 5 Captain Crunch sandwiches. So yummy.
If we got to base it off that, I give it a fucking 0.
Well, hold on. Do you have a better idea?
No. The pimento loaf was going to be my idea. That's it.
Okay.
That or 5 bags of rolled up weed.
We don't
5 bags of dubage, but
we don't want to project that on there. Some people
no.
So I'm going to shoot
So
that down fairly quickly.
Let's go with the sandwiches.
So, okay, 1 out of 5 Captain Crunch sandwiches. What do you give it, Mr. Psycho Nerd?
Okay, so this is a movie that I have no recollection of ever not knowing in my lifetime. I know I saw it at an early age. I watched this movie religiously growing up. I can literally quote it just as well as I can the Star Wars trilogy, the original OG trilogy.
Yeah.
It resonates even more so when I got older, like you said in high school, about different cliques and whatnot. That round table sequence is one of my favorite scenes, not just of this movie, but of all movies of all time, because it's such an important scene. It's very well shot, and it's just a very powerful scene all around. So many good things are being done in that scene.
But it's also ad-libbed. That entire scene is ad-libbed.
You know what? That makes it even more
it makes it more
pertinent, I think. Yeah, it really does. So I can't think of a single flaw in this movie, so I'm going to give it 5 Captain Crunch sugar-laced sandwiches.
Sugar-laced sandwich. Fucking funny.
There was butter on that bread too, by the way. Did you ever catch that?
I never caught that.
There's fucking butter on the bread.
Fucking pimento loaf. Ew.
Not me. I don't even eat
I can see putting butter on a Pop-Tart. I hear it's so freaking good. But why the fuck would you put on a ew. Yeah.
It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting.
Yeah. And I agree. This movie has stood the test of time. I think you take 5 kids from 5 different regions of the high school, put them together, they start to see the common ground, and all the biases, all of the hatred, it was gone because they realized that they all have parents they don't like. They don't want to become their parents, which Allison has said it's inevitable. You're going to become your parent one way or the other, whether you like it or not. And so some people it's true, for some it's not. For some it gets worse than what their parents were, but we won't talk about that person.
Nah.
Ex-wife. Definitely a great fucking flick. I would argue it's one of John Hughes' greatest movies. I would argue that.
I will not. I can't go against that.
And it's one of those movies that I thought about watching it a second time when we were gonna watch our film on Thursday. I was gonna watch it on Wednesday. I already watched it Tuesday. I might as well watch it again on Wednesday. But I ended up not doing that. I ended up turning on my PS5 and playing Mortal Kombat 1 because I haven't finished that game yet.
It's one of those movies, I swear to God, I never get tired of watching. I can put it on anytime. I know the movie so well, I can put it on as background music to do some cleaning around my room. I don't need to look at the screen anymore.
Yeah, I agree. So with that being said, I am also going to give this movie a 5, which, gives us a total score of 5. Let me write down something here real quick. Yeah. Yep. Score of 5. Again, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I can't speak for Scuba, but I would like to think he would have given it a 5 as well. This is definitely one of those age-defining movies that is just as true today as it was 30 years ago.
Mhm.
Oh, 40 years ago. Fuck.
Yeah, 40.
Ooh, 40. Fuck.
God damn, I'm getting old.
Get off my lawn. Any last thoughts about this movie that you want to bring up?
Please don't ever remake this fucking thing. I've heard rumors about people trying or talking about doing it. Do not remake The Breakfast Club. Damn it. Leave it the fuck alone.
They tried to remake Uncle Buck and it failed miserably.
Exactly.
And I'm like, you cannot. Why are we remaking movies that don't need to be remade? Back to the Future comes to mind. Like,
you know what? It's never going to happen because the people that own the rights to that movie said it's never going to be allowed. And even after they die, they've already put placements into where nobody will ever get access to those fucking film rights. We're never going to see that shit.
I'd be okay if they did extensions on the movies, not really remakes or reboots, but like soft little sequels to the movies. You know what I mean? I'd be okay with that, but again, it's not my
like spin-off
sequels or Christopher Lloyd. So why?
You mean like a spin-off type of movie or something?
Like a prequel, so to speak, where Doc party. Then again, it would have to be a really good fucking script.
It really would. I don't see that happening.
I hate to be that guy to point this out, but the Hollywood quality has been lackluster the past 20, maybe 10, 15, 20 years, maybe. It's just not the same. Anyhow, I know we can get in our soapbox about that all day.
Oh yeah, of course.
But that will conclude our review of The Breakfast Club, and that will also end our little love fest for John Hughes. May he rest in peace. Probably, arguably one of the greatest writers and directors and producer as well. He did produce some movies too that he didn't direct. I think Home Alone was one of them that I can remember. I could be wrong.
I'd have to check.
Chris Columbus directed that particular movie, but
true.
I think he produced and wrote and produced it all because he saw the scene with Macaulay Culkin and Uncle Buck and went, "That could be a movie. Let's make that a movie." And it was one of the biggest movies of all time.
Chris Columbus, isn't he the guy who did the first 2 Harry Potters?
Yes, he is.
That's what I thought.
Join us next week. We are going to be doing the first of our birthday picks. My birthday is coming up on the 19th, which is not far enough away. But for my birthday, we were originally going to review the Green Lantern. We will do that later in the year. However, fuck you. How dare you? Green Lantern is not that bad of a movie. I don't care. It's better than Superman 4.
Yeah, but it ain't that good.
It's better than Superman 4. That's my.
You know what? At least Superman 4 has nostalgic value to it.
Yeah, if you want to see chicken wire from people flying in the air, yeah, I'm all about that.
No, let Lee press on nails on the villain. That's come on, man. That's golden. Come on now.
Destroy Superman now. I kind of wish Scuba was here because I think he'd defend that movie.
You know what?
He's a Superman fan. He'd be like, "Yeah, that movie was great." And
honestly, I would rather watch Part 4 than Superman Returns. Think about that for a minute. I would rather watch Supergirl. I would rather watch Supergirl than Superman Returns.
Damn, that's a bold statement right there.
Just saying.
So you'd rather you don't want to watch Stalker Superman? Okay, fair enough.
No, I want to see Helen Slater in the tight Superman outfit, Supergirl outfit.
No argument here. But again, our review next week will be of the indie classic, a movie that means a lot to me, especially at the time that it came out, and that would be Clerks, Kevin Smith's first movie into what would become a very successful career, not just in acting, but also, or not just directing, but also acting and writing. He's done it all. And of course, he picked to play silent jobs. He didn't want to memorize lines. I'm like, okay, fair. I can get that.
He's only got one line in the whole movie, so
yeah.
nice.
But with that said, Psycho Nerd, promote your shit.
All right. Well, you can find my podcast, Psycho Nerd Podcast, on YouTube currently. You can also find my podcast on my YouTube channel, Repeat Movie Viewer. Feel free to visit my channel. There have been new videos all the past few weeks, movie reviews. I even gonna have a new podcast. Just submitted it right before we recorded this. So there's new shit going around. What?
So yeah, you did.
Yes, I did. It held us up for a few minutes, but damn it, I need to be consistent, God damn it. I need to be consistent.
Ain't found shit.
So feel free to join me, please.
I got a jar of that. I got a jar of that.
And of course, you can find the Real Movie Critics on Spotify and on YouTube. For some reason, Apple's not letting me upload. The RSS feed is not working, so I'm gonna attempt to fix this over the weekend. I don't give a shit who's at the Super Bowl, so I may do it during that time. I may just do it on Monday. I don't know yet. But again, you can find those on Spotify and YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. Also, our wrestling podcast, the Josh Zodiac podcast, which gives us news plus reviews of Raw, SmackDown, and PLEs. We just did the Royal Rumble a week ago. God, what a stinker that was. Yeah.
Depending on your perception, I guess.
True, depending on your perspective. And you can Google search and find us, the Josh Zodiac podcast, but you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course YouTube. We have a TikTok page as well as a Facebook page. Just make sure you like, subscribe, and follow not just my shit, but his shit and Lord Scubacabra's shit, which is down in the shit description. Now I'm just going to go with the word shit right now. All down below in the description where all of our shit is at. We are hoarders of shit here at the Real Movie Critics. So for Lord Scubacarba, who I'm hoping will be back next week, his PTO time is elapsed. And for the Psycho Nerd, I am the Josh Zodiac. This has been the Real Movie Critics. And remember, kids, there's always time for one more binge. We will see you next time.
Dear Mr. Byrne, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it was we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. And you see us as you want to see us. In the simplest terms, with the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain and an athlete
And a basket case. A princess.
and a criminal. Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, The Breakfast Club.